Hello and welcome to Devon Park, another elimination game here in the 2025 USA Softball Men's Major National Tournament. Elimination meaning the loser goes home, the winner survives and advances. We'll get to the lineups. We're kind of hustling from the other game that was just played that ran over a bit. We'll get those to you as quick as we can. First pitch is upstairs, taken for a ball. This one featuring LC Ostrander Norsemen, LC as in Lake Crystal. They'll be taking on the Via Arcos Misfits, who have just come off a big upset win over Kegel Black Knights to get into this game. It is the Misfits on the field as the home team. Defensively, the Misfits, Lucas Galarza out in left, Kevin Reyes in center, Facu Gonzalez in right field. Around the horn, it is Juan Echeveste at third, Inero Correa at short, Juan Bambuzzi, our favorite name to pronounce, at second base, and Faust Silviero over at first. Faust also does some catching. Behind the plate in this one, though, is Santi Giselv, and in the circle for the Misfits, a 46-year-old veteran, Leo Bress, B-R-E-S-S, if you're keeping a scorebook with us. They call him the Maestro, very experienced pitcher. Loses the leadoff batter here, though, to the walk. Just getting those lineup cards in, so bear with us for a second. Julian Fernandez now down at first base, so he is aboard with a leadoff walk. He's followed by Tom Check. Check is the left fielder for this Ostrander team. Shows bunt, gets it down, but it's foul. All over that is Santi Giselv, the catcher, bouncing up from behind the plate like a cat. Foul ball. So Check at the plate. Tyler Johnson, USA national team member, hitting in the 3 spot. Francisco Lombardo, Argentine player, hitting cleanup. From Denmark, the Valdi Turkelson, he's the DP, hitting 5th. Jackal Spencer in the 6th spot. Ryan King 7th. Tewitta Bishop, member of the New Zealand Black Sox silver medal team from last week. Hails from New Zealand, of course. Brent Meshke batting 8th. And in the circle, not batting for the Norseman, Roman Godoy. Very fine Argentine pitcher. That one's fouled into the seats over on the left side. If you missed the prior game, Hill United coming away a 2-1 winner in a very tight ball game. That was a winner's bracket final, or excuse me, semifinal. 2-1 over JDT. So they go to the losers or elimination bracket. Hill United marches on. They'll be back tonight at 7 p.m. in the winner's bracket final, taking on the winner of the Gremlins Drillers game. Still waiting for a score on that one. Upstairs with a ball. The throw is late, right on the money, though. Very impressed with both catchers for this Misfit team out of Houston, Texas. Silverio the other night behind the plate. He's now playing first, but put on a very impressive performance with throws down to second base and even a trick play where he faked a throw to second, fired back to third, and got a runner caught in a rundown for an out. So Bress now with a runner in scoring position behind him. It is Tom Check still at the plate. Off the plate, outside away. We'll take a moment while they take a moment. Steve Prado coming out, the skipper for this Misfit team. Most of the people around here just call him Champ. He boasts the best winning percentage of any team in Texas, they say. Here he is in Oklahoma, trying to expand that to another state. We'll be right back. So back to the action we go. It is Tom Check at the plate. 2-2 count still with Leo Bress, the veteran, in the circle. Fouled straight back and out of play. We had Via Arcos on the broadcast on opening night. They took a loss in that one, but they've won a couple of games since then. Very impressive wins in the process, most notably that Kegel Black Knight win. Kegel came in as the number 9 ranked team in the world, and they have been eliminated. Lined into left field, it's going to fall in front of the Misfits left fielder. Luis Galarza then heading down to second when Galarza was slow to get the ball in is Tom Check, so he's aboard. And over to third is Julian Fernandez. So runners at second and third for the Norsemen. Don't know if we're going to get a change. It appears that we are. Left fielder Lucas Galarza coming off. I believe that may be the DP. We'll get a report hopefully. But it looks like Corey List. He started the game in the lineup as the DP. Lucas Galarza is actually one of their other pitchers, a very fine one at that. They have two mainstays, Galarza and another pitcher by the name of Pelletier. And that may be all for Leo Bress. So the skipper saying he's not going to let this one get away early. And is that Galarza coming back with another glove, perhaps? We'll take time while they take time. A couple of position changes in the lineup. I don't think it's going to change our lineup card, but we'll check the official announcement. We'll be right back. So back to the action we go. It is indeed Lucas Galarza coming on in relief here in the first inning for Leo Bress. Lucas was started in left field, and skipper apparently not happy with what he was seeing in the early going. We're going to assume that's Corey List out in left field. I think we recognize him from the other night. That one's lifted out into shallow right field, coming on, but it's going to drop in front of him. So Fernandez will come in to score, and right behind him, Tom Check. So 2 runs on a little flare single that just fell in to no man's land. Tyler Johnson, by the way, down at second base on that base hit. So credit him with the 2 RBIs. Here's Lombardo. Hits a two-hopper out to short across the diamond. Out recorded. Moving over to third base on that one is Tyler Johnson, so just 60 feet away from another run. The Norsemen have cashed in a couple here. Leo Bress, the veteran, started the game and gave way after just a couple of hitters. Took a little bit of time because Galarza was on the field as an outfielder. Now in the circle pitching. That one gets away, goes to the screen. Galarza covering, but not in time. It took a bit to get the ball back up. So 3 runs now. All 3 of the first 3 hitters in the batting order for the Norsemen scoring. Valdi Turkelson, the pride of Denmark, at the plate. Very good hitter with good power. Has often been a leadoff hitter for other teams playing at this level. Right now in the 5 spot. But he does have good power out of the leadoff spot. So the base is clear and the pressure off for Lucas Galarza. But the hill is now 3 runs to climb for the Misfits, and they haven't even had their first at-bat. Foul straight back to the screen. The Norsemen, as we mentioned, come into the tournament as a number 6 in the world rank. They took a loss in their opening night contest. That was against Team Marquez. A bit of an upset. The Marquez team not ranked. Norsemen with very good pitching. Roman Godoy among them. Godoy took the loss on opening night. Norsemen couldn't generate much offense in that one. Dropped the game 3-1. A 2-run homer late in the game was the difference. Since then, they have righted the ship. They've won 2 games by scores of 10-0 and 5-0. Semi Villalvaso with 9 strikeouts in his win. That was the 10-0 game over OPVS, fast pitch. And then Godoy coming back to strike out 14 in their next one. That was a 5-0 win. Foul straight back to the screen. Down on strikes goes Turkelson. So the second out of the inning recorded by Lucas Galarza.
Up bat, number 18, Spencer Yackel.
That'll bring up Spencer Yackel, the center fielder for the Norsemen. Hard one stays up high for a ball. We saw both of the mainstays for this pitching staff for Villa Arcos on opening night. That was against JDT. A very good hitting team. Both Galarza and Pelletier pitched very well against them in the loss. Misfits hail from Houston, Texas. So used to this weather we're getting here in Oklahoma City. 92 or thereabouts, they tell me, 92 Fahrenheit to 33 degrees Celsius. It's warm however you write the numbers down. A little bit muggy to go with that too, so this Misfit team right at home. One of the two finalists is in that winner's bracket final. Hill United Chiefs move on. They will face the winner of the Gremlins Northeast Driller game. When I last checked, the Gremlins were up by a couple. A little slow roller down to third. It's going to be foul. Swing and a miss on the ball away from the left-hander. Good location by Galarza. So the side retired last 3 outs in a row. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Galarza. But on the board is a big 3 spot. The Norsemen strike first. We'll be back with more action, and we'll get our first look at the Misfits lineup when we come back. Home half of the first inning, we'll get our first look at the offense, but first let's set the defense for Ostrander for you. In the outfield, Tom Check in left, Spencer Yackel in center, Tyler Johnson, the pride of the USA national team, over in right field. In the infield around the horn, Francisco Lombardo at third base, Ryan King at short, Brent Meschke at second, and Julian Fernandez over at first base. Behind the plate doing the catching, Tawita Bishop, a member of the New Zealand silver medal winning team last week at the World Cup. And in the circle, Ramon Godoy, one of the finest Argentine pitchers or finest pitchers around. The DP is Valdi Turkelson, so he is not part of that defense at the moment, at least. Kevin Reyes will start things off for the Misfits. He'll be followed by Juan Bambuzzi. Corey List will hit third, Fausto Silviero fourth, Facu Gonzalez fifth, Santi Giselve sixth. That one's lifted out into deep center field, given chase, but he won't have room. That's out of here. A home run by Kevin Reyes right off the bat, literally, and over the 250-foot fence out in left center field. So just like that, one swing of the bat. Here you get a look on the replay. Slightly built leadoff hitter, but boy, he got a charge into that one. Outfielders Yackel and Check out there in left center. All they could do was watch it sail. Flags are blowing to left center and out, so anything up in the air is going to carry. Here's Juan Bambuzzi. Ball inside. The name on the back of his uniform is Cruz. I believe we had that discussion the other night and we sorted it out. I think the full name is Juan Cruz Bambuzzi, but it's a Bambuzzi on the lineup card. in for a called strike on the outside edge. So Roman Godoy, very fine pitcher, stung a couple of times for home runs in this tournament. One on opening night. That was the difference in their loss to Team Marquez. Still holding on to a 3-1 lead here, though. Down on strikes, good pitch on that one away from Bambuzzi. So first strikeout of the game for Roman. And the batter, Corey List.
Up to bat, number 14, Corey List.
Little slow roller out to second base, up with it for an easy play. Meshke to Fernandez.
Number 24, Esto Silverio.
Fausto Silverio will step in, playing first base today. As we mentioned, also does a good amount of catching. He caught the entire game the other night against JDT. Very athletic player. Pretty good power as well. Hard grounder in the 5.5 hole. Strokes that one through for a base hit. Stayed behind the pitch and just drove it right into left field. Put back in play by Tommy Check out there. Very hot day, and I think we're probably right about the hottest portion of the day, 2 to 4 p.m. or thereabouts. You saw Godoy wiping off the sweat on his brow already here in the first inning. It's not going to get much cooler. So demanding weather, demanding conditions for all of the players, but pitchers in particular. Catchers and umpires would say they do too. Off the plate outside, good hard drop, just off the plate. Defense for the Norsemen straight away. Tommy Check in left, playing a little shallower than the other two, but good speed, can get away with that. Lifted out into the outfield. It's playable. It's in between right and center. But it's Spencer Yackel that camps under it for the out. Side retired. But the Misfits get a run back on the home run by Kevin Reyes. 3-1 score. We'll head to the top half of the second and be back right after this.
I look up to 3 women, actually. Kat Osterman, Amy Dill Bradford, and Megan Denny White.
One person I looked up to is Jocelyn Allo.
It would be Jordy Bogg.
Someone I look up to in softball is Aaliyah Andrews. I really look up to Erin Koffel.
Lisa Fernandez.
A woman in sports I look up to is Sis Bates.
I think Odyssey Alexander is a big one.
Because of her demeanor, just the way she carries herself on the mound.
Because of the way she plays her game.
When I was 6 years old and decided to start pitching, she's who I look up to and still look up to till this day.
I've been a fan of hers since I was really young. I just really like how she plays the game.
I know she probably had a lot of people that doubted her. There's a lot of people that have doubted me, and she pushed through and succeeded.
Just very determined to do amazing in what she does.
She's really paved the way for young girls in Hawaii to have that dream to be here, and that's really helped me. In the way she's allowed others to play with that kind of energy.
Seven, 8, 9 in the batting order coming up for the Norsemen. They scored 3 in the top of the first 3 batters in order. And then Galarza, who had come on in relief, settled in. Got a couple of strikeouts and a ground ball and out of the inning. So 7, 8, 9, that's Ryan King, followed by Tuwita Bishop and Brent Meshke. In for a called third, and he didn't argue. Stepped away from the plate as soon as the ball landed. So King down on strikes. That's 3 in a row if you're counting. We are. 3 in the game for Galarza. And it'll bring the big fella Tawita Bishop to the plate. Bishop from New Zealand. He's been on the national team world competition for the last 2 cycles, 2022 and this past week in Prince Albert, 2025. That one's lifted up and out just over our heads here on the second level of the press box. Bishop, a very experienced player, spent 4 or 5 years playing minor league ball in the Boston Red Sox system among them. Has played in Arizona, Massachusetts, and other parts. So a very highly regarded ball player as a whole, back now playing fast pitch. No doubt the Black Sox from New Zealand happy to have him back in their lineup, as are the Norsemen. Foul tip. That one's out of play over on the right side. Very solid player. They always look a little smaller when we're up here looking down, but I had a chance to chat with Tawita in between games, and much bigger in person. Swing and a miss. Good location by Galarza. Put the ball on the hands of Tawita Bishop and unable to turn on that one. So another strikeout. 4 in the game, 2 in the inning. Galarza came in and ended the last inning with a pair of strikeouts. Now 2 more to start things off in the second. Here's Brent Meschke. Meschke, the right fielder for So 1-1 count to Meschke. Waiting on deck, Julian Fernandez. And the rest of the top of the order for the Norsemen. If Meschke can extend the inning. Right now 2 outs. Galarza trying to close it out quickly. Swing and a miss on a rise ball. Well out of the strike zone. Gave chase, did Meschke. They look so good coming in. You can't resist, can't lay off that high one. Ball downstairs low. Galarza waving his hands at the umpire just to check the count, make sure he has it right. Gigantic scoreboard behind you. 2-2. Misses up. No, right in top of the strike zone. Ball gets away from the catcher, but down to first with a throw. So 3 more strikeouts, 3 in a row in the inning, 5 on the day through 2 innings for Galarza. Very impressive so far. We'll head to the home half of the second inning and be back with more from the 2025 USA Softball Men's Major National Championship right here at Devon Park in the OKC.
Hey everyone, I'm Amanda from the women's national team. My journey as a female athlete started when I was 5 years old, just a crazy kid with a lot of energy. My parents put me in softball to hopefully channel some of that energy positively, and I just absolutely fell in love with competing and being around friends and learning, and I'm just so thankful that they put me in softball because the love has grown from there. Some barriers that I've faced from being a female athlete is feeling like I'm one of the ones at the top of my game, but not feeling like we can really build a living off of that. So having to juggle some different jobs to keep training and trying to stay at the best of my.
Back to the action we go. Home half of the second inning for the Misfits. It's third baseman one is Chevers at the plate. Swing and a miss on a good rise ball from Godoy. Yeah, Chevers will be followed by Galarza, then Gennaro Correa for the bottom of the order. Foul tip back to the screen. Elimination contest here, so the winner will survive and advance. The loser will be eliminated. Hard one on the outside edge, just off the plate. Good location for a two-strike pitch. Now two balls, two strikes. Little flare, it's going to be foul and out of play. Giving chase over there is Julian Fernandez, but no room. That one way upstairs, flagged down by catcher Tawita Bishop. I don't think many catchers get to that one, but he snagged it. So an Argentine pitching to a New Zealander in this one for the Norsemen. Very talented battery. Little floater stays upstairs and Chivers lays off. Looked like a pretty tempting pitch from here, but what do I know? We'll take a moment while they take a moment. Now, correction on that was Santee Jaselv. Still working on that lineup card that came in just at game time. So Santee Jelv with the walk. Looks like a pinch runner. We don't have a report on that. We'll try and pick that up from the uniform number. But it is the aforementioned one. It's Chevers at the plate now for the Misfits. Shows bunt, pulls back, doesn't get it down. Runner not going anywhere. Shows bunt again, doesn't get it down. Quick snap throw by Bishop, and he's got him. Caught him off the bag, did Bishop with that snap throw. Brent Meschke right down on the bag, snuck in behind him and picked him off. So we don't know the name of that pinch runner, but he has been erased by Tawita Bishop. 2-4 on your scorecard if you're keeping it with us. Looking like a play those two have done before. In for a called strike on the outside edge. Good location by Godoy. Tried to check his swing. I think a foul tip. So the count at 2-2. Godoy, a member of the Hill United Chiefs last year. I think the prawn rules wouldn't allow the Chiefs to keep him for this season, but certainly a measure of how highly regarded he is among pitchers. Hill United, one of the two finalists in this evening's contest. 7 p.m., number 1 Hill United, number 2 Gremlins. A matchup I think many anticipated and many have looked forward to. So if you're anywhere near a computer or even your phone at 7 p.m. Central Time tonight, be sure and tune in on that one. Swing and a miss, and Echever's down on strike, so 2 outs in the inning. And that'll bring up Lucas Galarza.
Up to bat, number 4, Lucas Galarza.
Galarza started the game in left field, but not for long. Skipper Champ Prado didn't like what he saw shaping up with the first 3 batters reaching base and eventually scoring. Went to one of his aces, Galarza, and Galarza has been lights out so far. Just off the plate. Lifted out into deep left center field, and you can watch it go. Home run, Lucas Galarza. That one takes a couple of bounces and lands at the back fence behind the championship fencing. So some of the power on display, not something you expect to see from someone in the 8th spot in the order. Sometimes seeing better pitches. He saw one there. Godoy surrendering another home run, second in the game for the Misfits. Now the margin at 1. Norsemen hanging on to a 3-2 lead.
Number 39.
Certainly makes that pickoff play by Tawita Bishop and Brent Meschke look larger. That would have been a tie game if he had been aboard. Enero Correa, the shortstop at the plate. He's the 9-hitter. If he can reach, we'll be back to the top of the order with Kevin Reyes. But Correa will have to do something to extend the inning. Foul tip way out in front of that one. Almost hit the ball behind himself.
Number 39, Gennaro Correa.
Foul tipped up and over the screen. Flags off in the distance, the American flag in the middle and a couple of other ones all blowing in the same direction. Out. Anything up in the air is going to carry. After watching that Galarza home run, we don't need to convince you of that. Ball downstairs, he doesn't bite. They appeal it, do not get the call. Our umpires in this one, by the way, is Sean Schumacher behind the plate, Brian Kelly at first base, and Bruce Kilmoyer over at third. 3-man crew in this national tournament. Some of the finest from USA softball. Little slow roller down to first. He'll smother it, reach over, step on the bag for the out. Does Julian Fernandez, 3 unassisted if you're keeping a card. But another home run for the Misfits. They pull closer. Now a 3-2 margin for the Norsemen, nursing a 1-run lead. We'll be back with more great action from the Men's Major National Championship from Devon Park in the OKC. Top half of the third inning for the Ostrander Norsemen. And we are back to the top of the order. That means Julian Fernandez, Tom Check, and Tyler Johnson. All three of those men reached base back in the first. All three of them came around to score in that big 3-run first inning. Galarza came in and slammed the door shut, though. Got a ground out and a couple of strikeouts. 3 more strikeouts last inning. He has 5 through just 2 innings. Little pop-up flare, a given chase is the catcher, Santee Giselve, not able to get to it. So this will be Fernandez and Check's first look at Lucas Galarza, the strong right-hander for these Via Arcos Misfits. Swinging a foul tip straight back to the screen. The Misfits came in unranked and unheralded, but here they are still playing on Saturday afternoon in this national championship tournament. Knocking out the number 9 ranked team in the world, the Kegel Black Knights, along the way. So not a team to be looked past at all. And came too far inside, hit him. Julian Fernandez will take a spot down at first base. He is aboard. That breaks the string of 6 consecutive batters retired by Galarza. We've seen quite a number of hit by pitch in the last couple of days. Keep the trainers handy. We'll take a moment while Julian takes a moment to regroup down there. Looks like the hand or the wrist perhaps. Just a little bit of discomfort. We'll be right back. So Fernandez, no worse for wear. That'll bring Tom Check to the plate. Check reached in the first inning on a single to left. Gets down a bunt, a good one, right back to Galarza. He makes the only play he had. Good sacrifice by Tom Check. And moving over to second base is Julian Fernandez. So the Norseman skipper playing for a run here. The margin he's seen started out, it was 3-0, and a couple of home runs have pulled the Misfits close. Norsemen wanting to get a little bit of insurance. Here's Tyler Johnson. Quick throw down to third on the late steal. He's in safely. We'll catch the replay. It looked like the ball just bounced, got away just for a moment from our catcher. Giselve. Here you see the replay. Not for long, just enough for him to take off. So some confident base running over there. A line drive out into left field. Caught on the run, right on the foul line by Corey List. Great catch out there. So the out recorded, the run scores on the sac fly. Waiting for the scoreboard to catch up on that.
Up to bat, number 25, Francisco.
It's Lombardo at the plate again in the second inning. Grounded out just short first time up. And now we see the scoreboard catching up. Norsemen now on top by a 4-2 score. So credit Tyler Johnson with the RBI on the sac fly. Very well hit ball out to left. Good defensive play out there by Corey List. Foul straight back to the screen. Valdi Turkelson waiting on deck. Deep center field, and all they can do is watch it go. Home run by Francisco Lombardo. Adds another one to the tally for the Norsemen. Got it up in the jet stream and just went the other way with it. Big towering line drive blast. Home run. And they pull out the Viking helmet down there for the Norsemen. Everybody's got their own version of that, I think. You've seen the Hill United giant hat. They have a set of Viking horns they put on their home run hitters, and it looks like Lombardo will get to wear them for a while. 5-2 now here in the third inning. Line drive into left field for a base hit. Turkelson hitting behind the ball, just going the other way with it. He's aboard with a single. Turkelson runs very well, so keep an eye on him here. One out at the moment. Spencer Yackel will step in. Spencer, the center fielder for this Norseman squad. The flag's continuing to blow out towards left center field. Not sure the direction matters as much as the fact that it's blowing out and away from home plate. Ball high. Giselle jumping up to catch that one and looks down to first, trying to keep Turkelson honest. Upstairs for a ball. So after striking out 5 consecutive hitters through the end of the first inning and all of the second, Galarza touched up for a few hits here as he faces the heart of the order. Starting with Reyes, the hit by pitch didn't help. Swing and a miss late on that one. Little extra zip from Galarza. Good fundamental ball being played by the Norsemen, though. They got the leadoff hitter on board with a hit by pitch. Tom Check sacrificed him over to put him in scoring position. Eventually wound up at third, coming home to score on the Tyler Johnson sac fly. Get him on, get him over, get him in. Philosophy being followed by the Norsemen right now. That one's in. 2-2. Swing and a miss on the rise ball. Down on strikes goes Yackel, but not before the Norsemen tack on a pair. Now a 5-2 lead over the Misfits. We played 3 complete in this one. We'll be back with the 4th right after this. Top half of the fourth inning. For the Misfits, back to the top of the order, we are with Reyes. He'll be followed by Bambuzzi and Corey List. Still in the circle, Ramon Godoy. Little hard liner down to third, maybe a hop over to first for the out regardless. Reyes is retired.
Number 21, Juan Bambozzi.
Here's Juan Bambozzi. Wearing his middle name, we suppose, on the back of his uniform, spelled Cruz. Bambozzi, a strikeout victim, his first time up. Watches that one bounce in the dirt. That'll even the count at 1-1. Outfield playing straight away, but Tom Check in left, much more shallow. The bunt's down, back to Godoy. Good throw over to first to Meshke covering, and the out recorded. Trying to bunt for a base hit on that one was Bambuzzi. No luck. It'll bring up Corey List.
Number 14, Corey List.
List 0 for 1 on the day. Grounder to second base, his first trip to the plate. Checked his swing, but in for a called strike. So says our home plate umpire, Sean Schumacher. I want to hop and a skip in the dirt, taken for a ball. Ball outside off the plate away from the left-hander List. Pretty good power has he. Started the lineup card today as a DP. Wound up moving to left field on the move when Galarza came from left field to pitch. Good hard one on the inside edge. Good location by Godoy. Not a pitch anyone can handle. Right on the hands. Little changeup, tried to hold up, and no swing, says our third base umpire, Bruce Kilmoyer. Count runs full, 3 balls and 2 strikes to Corey List. Inside, taken for a ball, and List will make his way down to first base. Godoy not quite as sharp as we have seen him at times, but of course the weather and conditions here and the heat, the muggy heat in the mid-90s can take its toll. The runs for the Misfits coming on the long ball. Reyes leading off in the first with 1, and Lucas Galarza helped himself out with 1 in the second. Ball upstairs high. Ball off the plate, quick snap throw down to first by Bishop. Not in time to get List. High pop-up, Bishop around the plate. So is third baseman Francisco Lombardo. He'll make the catch for the out, and the side retired. Pop up to 5 if you're keeping a scorecard with us. For the Misfits in the inning, no runs, no hits, a man left, the walk stranded. We've played 3.5. We'll be back with more right after this. Seven, 8, 9 for the Norsemen here in the top of the 4th inning. It'll be Ryan King, followed by DeWitt Bishop and Brent Mischke. Then back to the top of the order if any of them can reach. High pop-up, that's going to be out of play over on the left side. It's a very international flavored lineup that these Norsemen have. 4 players from Argentina, Fernandez, Godoy, Lombardo, and even Sachs. Hop and a skip on a 30-foot drop. Ryan King hails from Australia. Valdi Turkelson, as we mentioned, from Denmark. Sammy Villalvaso, their other ace, from Mexico. DeWitt Bishop from New Zealand. And a whole collection of players from the US of A. Tommy Check, Tyler Johnson, Luke King, Brent Mischke, Rick Saunders, and Spencer Yackel, all from the US of A. Tyler Johnson, we mentioned, a member of the USA national team, carrying a bronze medal around in his pocket from last week. Off the plate downstairs, they appeal the call. But Brian Kelly says no, did not go. Ball stays upstairs, so he is aboard with a walk. So neither pitcher helping themselves by giving free passes to the first batter of an inning.
Up to bat, number 35, T. Wera Bishop.
Third time in 4 innings that the Norsemen have had the leadoff hitter aboard. Fernandez reached in the first and scored. Fernandez reached again in the third, hit by pitch, didn't score. And now the leader off here. Here's Bishop, high fly ball out to center field. It looks playable. Going back on the way back is Kevin Reyes. He makes the catch for the out. So 1 out recorded. Ryan King not going anywhere on that one. Stays at first base.
Number 9.
Brent Mischke will step in now, the 9 hitter for this Ostrander Norseman squad. Shows bunt, doesn't get it down. I believe foul is the call. Shows bunt again, pulls back. The pitch is high. Giselle flags it down, looks down to first to make sure the runner not going anywhere. Ryan King staying put. Shows bunt initially, then pulls back. The pitch misses, so 2-1. Shows bunt, foul tip. So the count even at 2-2. Ryan King down at still at first base. The Norsemen scoring 3 in the first. Misfits closed the lead to 3-2. Then the Norsemen added a 2-spot last inning, trying to build on that now. Swing and a miss. Good pitch by Galarza. Good hard one on the inside edge. So down on strikes goes Miski. And back to the top of the order, Julian Fernandez will get his third at-bat of the game. He has been aboard twice, singled and scored, reached on a hit by pitch. Swing and a miss on the rise ball, a good one. Swing and a miss again out of the strike zone. Galarza's rise ball looks like a strike coming in. He's got that late movement, something akin to Jack Besgrove of the Gremlins. Hard to pick up, looks like a strike. You want to swing, and you wind up chasing a ball out of the strike zone. There he does again. Throw down to second, not in time, but matters not. Down on strikes goes Fernandez, side retired. For the Norsemen in the inning, no runs, no hits, a man left at the end of 3.5. Still 5-2 Norsemen. The winner of this one will survive and advance in the elimination bracket. The loser eliminated in this 2025 USA Softball National Championship. We'll be back with more. Don't go away. Back to the action we go here in the home half of the fourth inning. Five, 6, and 7 for the Misfits. Facu Gonzalez at the plate. He's followed by Senti Giselve and Juan Echevers. That one comes inside, and yet another hit batter. Godoy coming down, motioning as if to say sorry. That one got away. We're going to run out of the cold spray they use for injuries like that. We'll take a moment while he takes a moment, trying to regroup. Looks like on the hand, the way he's motioning. Godoy throws very hard, so I'm sure he'll be feeling that one for the rest of the game. Here's the catcher, Santi Gaselv. Chevers will be next. Flag's really blowing out towards left field right now. Snapping the flags out in center field, we can see from here. In for a called strike on that one. Gaselv reached on a walk last time up against Godoy. Way high up and out of the strike zone. Grounder to short, goes over, steps on the bag, throws. The throw a little bit wide, but hung on to over at first. Nice defense by Fernandez to hang on to that one. So 2 quick outs recorded. Watch on the replay. No need to throw the ball, standing right on top of the bag. Some nifty defense by Ryan King. 6 unassisted at second. 6-3 on the rest. Here's third baseman Juan Chevers. Ball high, inside high.
Number 34, Juan Chevers.
Swing and a miss, comes out of his shoes on that one, did his Chevers. Godoy turning up the dial with velocity on that one. He can hit the high 70s and beyond. Swing and a miss, same pitch, same result. Threw that one right on by at Chevers. Foul tip. Count will stay at 2-2. Foul tip back to the screen. Swing and a miss on a changeup, a good one. Went reaching. Down on strikes, he goes, Juan Chevers. So faced the minimum 3 batters in the inning. Nothing to show for it. Have the Misfits. We played 4 complete. The score, Ostrander Norsemen 5 and the Villa Arcos Misfits 2. You're watching the 2025 USA Softball Men's Major National Championship from Devon Park in Oklahoma City. We'll be back. Top half of the fifth inning for the Norsemen. Right now riding a 3-run lead into the fifth inning against these Via Arcos Misfits. 8-9-1 for the Norsemen. That means excuse me, 2, 3, 4. That means we start with Tom Check. Swinging a foul tip straight back to the screen. If you missed the earlier announcement, we have 2 finalists in the winner's bracket final for the 7 p.m. game this evening. Number 1 ranked Hill United Chiefs coming off a 2-1 close victory over JDT First Energy. On the other side, the Gremlins 6-0 winners over the Drillers. Little slap to left field and trips and stumbles coming around the bag. Thought about second base, but had to scamper back. Having a little bit of a chuckle down there at that. He was off to the races.
Next up, number 10.
Catch it, see if we can catch it on the replay. Motioning as if he got shot down coming around the bag. It looked like that, or blew a tire. So the batter, Tyler Johnson, now shows bunt, but he pops it straight back over the screen. Tyler slapping at the bat as if to say, not what I was trying to do. Tyler with one of the big home runs in that bronze medal game, 4 of them by the USA in their win over Japan. Super round matchup, bronze medalists at the end of the day. Showing bunt again, pulls back, off on the pitch, and stealing safely is Check. Foul straight back to the screen. That'll run the count to 0-2. Looks like Check and Corey List out in left field still having a laugh about the play where he stumbled coming around the bag, motioning again with the rifle, so to speak, as if he got shot by the throw coming in. Check now looking around to the outfield, seeing how deep they're playing. Wants to know where, if the ball's hit in play. Here's Johnson looking that one off the plate, so working the count to 2-2. Looks at that one off the plate, so the count now 3-2. Good at bat by Tyler Johnson. Singleton scored in that first inning, added a sac fly RBI last time up. So looking to drive in another run, extend that lead if he can. See if Galarza gives him a pitch off the plate outside. So he'll take a spot down at first base. It's Tom Check at second, Tyler Johnson at first. And Francisco Lombardo at the plate. Lombardo with that towering home run last time up. The Misfits can ill afford to give away any more runs. They're already chasing 3. Anything up in the air would carry again, so the skipper's going to go out probably and remind him this is not the batter you want to be throwing good pitches to. Steve Prado is the skipper of this Via Arcos Misfit team, or as his friends call him, Champ. We'll take a moment while they take a moment. We'll be right back. And we are set and ready. Francisco Lombardo at the plate, 2 men aboard. Ball high. I imagine the conference probably talking about what they want to do or how they're going to do it, but sometimes on a hot day like today, also just giving the pitcher a chance to catch his breath and regroup, especially before facing a hitter like Lombardo. That one's upstairs, taken for a ball, so Galarza pitching carefully. I suppose in a sense not a lot of difference between first and second or having the bases loaded. He's just trying to pitch around Lombardo after seeing what he did last time. Swinging on the pitch as Lombardo flares that one into the stands over on the right side. So the count will run to 2-1. I don't imagine Lombardo liked the idea of having the bat taken out of his hands, so swinging on a 2-0 pitch. That one's down in the dirt. Holds his hand up to say, don't go anywhere, Tom Check. Galarza will get a fresh ball from Sean Schumacher. That one scuffed up when it bounced in the dirt. And floats that one in upstairs for a ball. So Lombardo does take the walk. 2 in a row now for Galarza. Though I think the last one was probably an unintentional walk, or vice versa. Runners at every base right now. It'll be up to Valdi Turkelson to try and cash some in. We mentioned his power. Valdi 1 for 2 on the day. Struck out looking his first time up. Base hit to left field last time, just went the other way with him. Lots of room in that outfield. All 3 outfielders playing fairly deep, right at that 200 mark. Off the plate away, taken for a ball. The problem with walking a couple hitters in a row, you've got to come back and find that strike zone. Misses off the plate again, 2-0. Turkelson showing good patience up there. Spencer Yackel is on deck, still no outs in the inning, so the Norsemen with a chance to break this one open. The Misfits trying to stay in the ball game. Swing and a miss, big roundhouse rise ball. Turkelson given a green light on that one. So like Lombardo, Turkelson swinging on a 2-0 pitch now with a 2-1 count. Shows bunt, puts it down, but it's foul. Tommy Check halfway to home plate on that one. A little squeeze action, suicide squeeze. Not sure about that strategy, but with a 3-run lead and 3 men on base, you can be aggressive or take chances. 2-2 pitch, bounce foul. Turkelson with good enough power, he can lift the fly ball, so anything to the outfield is going to score at least a run. Sac fly or a base hit would score 2. Swing and a foul tip, just gets away from Santidja Selv. And that one just missing inside. Turkelson turning his shoulder down, a closer pitch than it might have looked by. Full count now, 3-2 to Valdi Turkelson. Runners at every base. Foul tip swinging was Turkelson. Slaps the bat as if to say that was the pitch he wanted. Just a half dozen teams left in that elimination bracket. The winner of this game would advance to play the Drillers, who have dropped down after being beaten by the Gremlins earlier today. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Good pitch by Galarza. Big out for the right-hander.
Next up, number 18, Spencer Yackel.
Good effort by Turkelson in the at-bat. Worked it to the full count, but Galarza reached back for a little bit of extra. Spencer Yackel at the plate, center fielder for the Norsemen. Shows bunt, and again, Tommy Check coming down from third base as if the squeeze was on. Shows bunt again and doesn't get it down. I think if I'm the Norsemen with a 3-run lead and 3 men aboard, I'm thinking about trying to shorten the game up with a run rule, cash in some of these runners, but they've tried the squeeze a couple of times now. Foul tip straight back to the screen. Yackel a pair of strikeouts against Galarza. One back in the first, and then again last time up in the third. So maybe that was the thought, just not seeing the ball or hitting the ball against Galarza. Little flare, it's going to be out of play over on the left side. We'll come back and do it again with a 1-2 count. It's Check over at third, Tyler Johnson at second, and Francisco Lombardo, the big fellow, over at first base. Those first two runners run pretty well, Check in particular with good speed. Anything to the outfield, look for him to score. Flag still blowing out toward left center field. Just missed with that one. Galarza slapping at his leg to say thought he had it. 2-2. Good pitch, good location by Galarza with 2 strikes. Laced into right field. That's a base hit for Yackel. In comes Check with 1 run. Right behind him, Tyler Johnson with another. So a good piece of hitting by Spencer Yackel after being struck out twice by Galarza. Strokes one through the right side for 2. Lombardo on the play winds up at third base, still just 1 out in the inning. And I'm thinking maybe a pitching change on its way. It is. Pelletier will come on in place of Lucas Galarza. That'll be all for him. We'll give Pelletier a chance to take his warm-up tosses and be back with you shortly.
the circle for the Misfits, number 37, Mariano Valente. Your next batter, number 24, Ryan King.
Pitching change for the Misfits. Mariano Pelletier comes on in relief here in the 5th inning for the Misfits. Lucas Galarza pitched well coming in relief after the starter Bress gave up 3 runs. Galarza came in and slammed the door shut, struck out 5 in a row at one point, but just couldn't hold off the hitters for the Norsemen. First pitch swinging, that one's hit into center field. That's going to score 2 more runs. Lombardo coming home with 1, and right behind him, Spencer Yackel. So 2 more runs for the Norsemen, now at 9-2. And the Norsemen in position to do what we talked about, maybe a run-shortened game here in the 5th. Watch on the replay, you'll see. Good piece of hitting. He just stays behind the ball. Ryan King, that is, into center field. 2 RBIs. He's now down at first base. Always hard coming in off the bench in the middle of an inning with runners aboard. Ryan King jumped on that first pitch. Swing and a miss by Tawita Bishop. So the margin now at 7. We are in the 5th. Bishop would like to add another 1 or 2 here. Off the plate outside, taken for a ball. I think sometimes the thought as a hitter, you think the pitcher's going to try and get ahead. Coming off the bench in relief, wants to get a strike, and you jump on the first pitch. He did just that. 4 runs in here in the 5th. All crooked number scoring for the Norsemen. 3 in the first, 2 in the third, 4 here so far in the 5th. Still 1 out. Pelletier bounces that one in the dirt. Pelletier and Galarza are the 2 aces of this staff. We saw them both pitch the other night, and now in this game likewise. Tries to check his swing. Sean Schumacher looks down to Brian Kelly at first, and Brian says no, did not go. Full count on Bishop. Takes one upstairs for a ball. Good patience up there by Tawita. So he is aboard. Down to second goes Ryan King. Misfits needing some outs before this one gets away from them. 6 teams left in the elimination bracket at this moment. 2 in the winner's bracket, the Gremlins and Hill United Chiefs. Foul tip right back to the screen. The winner here will face the Drillers at 5 p.m. tonight. That one right here on Softball Premier TV. Over at the other end of the bracket, Bear Creek and Team Marquez locked up in a 2 o'clock game like this one. The winner of that will face JDT First Energy, who dropped into the elimination bracket on the defeat by the Hill United Chiefs. JDT playing very well in the tournament. They knocked off rival Bear Creek Express early and held the Chiefs neck and neck, coming away just a 2-1 loss for JDT. Lifted out into center field, moving a step or 2, and making the catch is Kevin Reyes. Gets the ball back in, so a big out, number 2. The margin is 7 runs right now, so the Misfits have to get that final out. They can't afford any more. They'll need to score to extend the game to the full 7. And looks like we may have a pinch hitter. Let's check for that.
Your batter, pinch hitter, number 16, Ivan Sachs.
Ivan Sachs will step in as a pinch hitter here. Pelletier missing way inside with that one, almost hit him. Little pop up in the infield, going back, looking off the sun, and now it drops in, so another run will score. Meanwhile, the throw comes in at third, goes wide, and all the way down to second goes Ivan Sachs. So yet another run, a costly one for the Misfits. Watch the replay here. You see, he went back, and I think fighting off the sun, and it wound up being deeper than what he thought. That's Juan Bambuzzi out there. So the ball falls in, the run scores, and runners now at second and third. And we've come full circle to Tom Check that started this inning off as the leadoff hitter, reaching on a single. So Bishop over at third now. Ivan Sachs at second base. The score at 10-2. Tommy Check at the plate. Check's having himself a pretty good day. 2 singles and a sacrifice to move a runner over. He has scored 2 of the 10 runs. Off the plate, away outside. The Misfits guaranteed a top 8 finish should they lose this one if the score holds. Quite an accomplishment for an unranked team. Swing and a miss on a rise ball. Good one from Mariano. Ball off the plate outside. Pelletier holding his hands up, asking for the count. Sean Schumacher giving him a 2-2. In for a call, third strike, and Pelletier out of trouble there, but not before the Norsemen, Ostrander Norsemen, hang a 5 spot on the board in the 5th inning. They'll take a 10-2 lead to the home half of the 5th. Misfits needing to score a run to extend this one, or they would be eliminated. We'll be right back. You're watching the Men's Major National Championship from Devon Park. I'm Jim Flanagan here on Softball Premier TV. Home half of the fifth inning for the Villa Arcos Misfits. Last call for them, chasing an 8-run margin right now. Mariano Pelletier at the plate. Swing and a miss, comes up empty on that one. So Pelletier batting in the spot that Lucas Galarza had occupied. That means we are 8-9-1. So Galarza, Carrero, and then back to Kevin Reyes at the top of the order. Swing and a miss on a good changeup. And just like that, quickly ahead 0-2. Ramon Godoy trying to close things out and take his team further on in the elimination bracket. That one's hit right to short, but grabbed by Ryan King. 1 out. The batter for the Misfits, Gennaro Correa, the shortstop for this Houston-based team.
Batter number 39, Gennaro Correa.
That one hit hard to short, but King short hops it, picks it up and throws. Almost looking the other way when the ball hit the glove. A very casual, great play by the shortstop Ryan King, the pride of Australia. See if we catch a replay or not. 2 outs in the inning. Kevin Reyes, the last hope for the Misfits. Ramon Godoy trying to close it out. A little flare lifted to center field, coming on to make the catch out there. Spencer Yackel, side retired, ball game. Final score here, Ostrander Norsemen 10, the Misfits from Houston, Texas 2. They are eliminated. Ostrander will march on into the bracket further. They'll be right back here in about an hour on this field, on this network, Softball Premier TV. The other end of the bracket, Bear Creek playing Team Marquez. We're looking for a score. They'll take on JDT First Energy at 5 p.m. on the other field. And then the feature, the winner's bracket final tonight at 7 p.m. right here on this diamond. The number 1 ranked Hill United Chiefs taking on the defending champions of this event, 9-time winner of the event, the Gremlins of Bear Creek. We'll be back at 5 p.m. See you then.
Hey everyone, I'm Amanda Lorenz from the women's national team. My journey as a female athlete started when I was 5 years old, just a crazy kid with a lot of energy. My parents put me in softball to hopefully channel some of that energy positively, and I just absolutely fell in love with competing and being around friends and learning, and I'm just so thankful that they put me in softball because the love has grown from there. Some barriers that I've faced from being a female athlete is feeling like I'm one of the ones at the top of my game, but not feeling like we can really build a living off of that. So having to juggle some different jobs to keep training and trying to stay at the best of my sport while trying to make money to live. When I think about the future of women's sports, I get so excited because the opportunities keep growing year after year, and I'm just so thankful for the ones that came before me because I feel like my generation is the one really benefiting from all of their work. So I just keep seeing more opportunities, more money, and the ability for us to play the sport for as long as possible. Young girls starting out in sports, my advice to you is to keep going, be passionate. It is so cool to be a female athlete. So take that and run with it. It's so cool to be passionate and keep getting after it.